Many tenants are facing concerns for inability to pay their commercial lease. And if you are one of those tenants, chances are your contract does not consider the current pandemic and things that are happening in terms of ways you can relieve and come to terms with your landlord. As the impact of the virus is universal, your landlord is likely to anticipate issues with paying the rent from a wide range of tenants. Taking steps to negotiate terms that address the economic environment and your lease obligations is a great step in the right direction. The technique I recommend that is favorable to all parties can be boiled down in 3 steps. First, you want to see the problem from your landlord's perspective. Chances are your landlord has a lot of concerns moving forward as many tenants face financial issues due to the COVID closures. When approached with a request for deferral, modification, abatement of rents, they have a lot to think about, not just the likelihood of you being able to catch up on your rents, but also the likelihood of finding a replacement tenant, the cost and time involved with proceeding with an eviction, and finally, the likelihood that the tenant may be forced into bankruptcy, which would exhaust their judgment for unpaid rents and any claim that they have against the tenant. If the tenant is facing several overwhelming issues in regards to their cash flow or getting things back on track after COVID, they may want further details in regards to how to make sure that not only they have a paying tenant, but this tenant will continue to pay in a functioning business. Second, come up with a plan that addresses your needs and answers the concerns you anticipate from your landlord. Do this by listing the specific points of impact you are facing, such as payroll concerns, loss of revenue, uncertainty about the reopening date due to COVID. Being realistic and knowledgeable about where you stand gives your landlord confidence that you will be able and ready to move when time comes. Make sure that you include in your plan solutions available to you, such as loans, grants, or the ability to bring business back again as normal once business opens. Do not present overly optimistic deadlines, as it is better to pay early than later than expected. The last and final step is communicating your plan with your landlord with considerations from both sides of the table. Once your plan is in place, reach out and communicate with your landlord via email or with a phone conversation prior to default if that is at all possible. Landlords are business owners as well, so they are facing similar financial constraints and may be open to honest and open communication that reminds them exactly of your value as a tenant. If the communication is verbal, make sure to follow up with an email confirming the things that you discussed to make sure that there are no further concerns or discrepancies between the agreement that you all both come to in order to move forward.